Hey, welcome back. Happy Halloween to everyone out there. Hope you're enjoying it. It's a nice, cool, rainy night outside. Perfect for staring at a screen and reviewing cardboard. Feeling real comfy, feeling real relaxed. I'm gonna keep the intro fluff to a minimum, but I gotta say, thank you all for the support. I never would have thought that my very first video on YouTube would reach almost 2K, which I know in terms of the big shots, it's not that much. For me, I was like, dang, you know, the first one, the very first one, the one with a corny intro and the Minecraft lighting. You know, usually I think content creators look back 3 years and they cringe at their older content. I'm looking back 3 weeks and I'm already cringing. So the process is speeding up. Yeah, not just support in terms of views, but the comments. What the heck? I'm literally just learning about the game through YouTube comments. After I upload a video, I never would have thought something like that would have happened. I'm gonna get into a couple of them. I can't get into all of them. There were so many good ones, but I have to kind of spark notes it, otherwise we're gonna be here all day. 20 minutes of the video is gonna be me reacting to comments, and I'm not that desperate for content yet. So some of the main ones I've got was even more people just saying, you know, Summon Skull I gave way lower of a grade. It's just one of the best cards in the set. So, you know, we're really reiterating on that point that, listen, the meta was Summon Skull. The other thing is the field spells. I'm just gonna have to hold the L on that one. My cope will be in the context of what I've seen, they were better, but that context is basically one set and it's so short-lived, and I also just straight up overgraded them. Even within the context of that set, they should have been a C. But yeah, they're just unplayable. Just don't play them. This comment here saying the meta was La Jin, which I don't think I've seen yet, but he's an 1800, so he's the same as my 7-colored fish that I have in my book. So I guess there was an 1800 before 7-colored fish. Which is interesting. I think we'll get to him. He's probably just going to be an A when I see him. Just like the meta just being walling up and removal. But I actually got a couple of comments saying Exodia is actually not F tier. I responded to someone saying, I thought Exodia was the meme. You know, like it's the meme. It's the meme. So the memes aren't good. They're just memorable. Apparently Exodia was just good enough to be played. I just gotta say, it's a pretty strong bias on my part. The one comment was like, you're asking how you end the game, and then you gave all the Exodia pieces an F. That's a really good point. So I'll put some respect on Exodia's name. I'm sorry. I think I'll go with Let's Play Today USA's take on it, and I'll bump Exodia to C. If it's playable, and not just playable, but was in tournaments, yeah, I mean, maybe it's even better than a C. Here's another one here from Starlight saying Exodia was pretty cracked. Again, kind of reinforcing that last comment. And also saying the equip spells were not as bad. You know, in my heart, I can't play them. If I was put into a time machine, you know, and sent back to 2002, I would just be ripping these up. No bad equip spells for me. And the last one from Eric says that the starter decks that are coming up are going to be the cards that like actually define the meta at the time. Here's reiterating that the fusions were bad. Yeah, I mean, they seemed pretty bad. But the very last line about the ban list being very quickly made around the format. 2 months of 3 Raigeki, 3 Exodia, 3 Dark Holes. Sure, I mean, the game just came out, so it's good to know that at least they patched that up pretty quickly. They didn't let this absolute degeneracy run rampant for too long. So yeah, I think I'm going to also take Eric's advice and review them more in blocks of when they released instead of like alphabetically somewhat set ordered. It'll make the things like the equip spells that I gave all an F and we're not going to change grades, like easier to do. That brings me to my actual last comment from When Is Dinner? I don't know. The series is going to last you to the end of time. Yeah, maybe bi-weekly is too slow. There's a chance that sets are releasing faster than I'm reviewing cards. Maybe I I was trying to not spend as much time on the vanillas, but I like them. They're cool. I like the art. We have to appreciate even the worst cards, you know? All right, intro over. Go. Okay, so if I'm reading it correctly, this is the last card of Legend of Blue Eyes that I did not review. So, yummy. I'm going to go with not my gut this time. This would have gotten a B if I did one more card last episode. But I think it makes sense. These things are not that impactful. Build your deck around them. Like, even if it was like 500 or something, you build your deck around it, you're playing bad monsters. Maybe you just don't even draw into it because it's not searchable. Yeah, all right, well, there you go. F for Yami. Up next, we have some promo cards. I don't know what the promos were for. It says Dark Duel, beats me. But we're not here to figure that out. I mean, it's a guy, it's a beater. It's a 2500. How strict do I get with this? You know, it's just play Blue Eyes. Nah, just go F on this one. Just play Blue Eyes. All right, up next, Acid Trap Hole. Target one face down defense position monster on the field, flip it face up, and then destroy it if its defense is 2,000 or less, or return it face down if its defense is more than 2,000. Interesting. Looks painfully mediocre. So, rulings question. If it's Maneater Bug, does that count as being flipped? I think that's like the only interaction that I think matters with this. I have yet to see a defense position non-tribute that is more than 2,000. So any normal set, this kills. But the only relevant normal sets would be the 2,000 defenses and Maneater Bug. So it deals with one of them, and I just don't know how the other interaction works. Like, if it just said look at it, like, you just check it, it would make sense that Maneater Bug would not proc. But it literally says flip on the card. Still only good versus sets, which is fine. I think there was a lot of setting going on, as far as I can tell. Like, from what I read in the comments, there was a lot of just stalling, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! So maybe Acid Trap Hole is not as mediocre as I thought. It's just a solid C. Probably, like, not played in the meta decks, but not the worst card. Oh shit, they just power crept the equipment they power crept an equipment in the promotions. I don't know how I feel about that. Magic had a little scuffle with promotions. What was it? I think it was Dominaria. They released a take an extra turn card that looked unplayable. It was like a 7 mana take an extra turn, but instead of like getting exiled or just going to the graveyard, you like shuffled it back in your deck or something like that. I think it was called was it Nexus of Fate? Was it? No, it was Nexus of Fate. Yeah, you shuffle it back in your deck. You take the extra turn card and shuffle it back in your deck. And for some reason, they made that a box topper. And this, like, degenerate control deck with Teferi just kept looping it. And their win con was deck out. Weird stuff. But what does that change about this card? There's nothing else in this promo set, because I think this is just a one-off thing for Fires. Were Fires that bad that they needed to juice them up this much? The other ones were 300. All right, I'm feeling a little Timmy tonight. I'll give it a D, just because it's such a higher power jump from the 300 ones. Okay, now we're in starter deck Kaiba. I'm going to try to not re-review any of the generic commons they put in there, but this is not a vanilla, this is a Lord of D, and neither player can target dragon monsters on the field with card effects. Neither player, so that works on both sides. Can't equip up your Blue Eyes with a whatever the dragon spell was, the dragon equipment. Can't target. So what have I seen that targets so far? I know I have to think about it now with like Dark Hole and Raigeki limited. How is Fissure also limited? Because Fissure doesn't target either. I'm trying to see what this saves you from, really. Is this line of text just not relevant right now, but might be later? It's definitely extremely powerful line of text. There's something in Magic called hexproof that they have been going away from, and it's because non-interaction is not fun. And this creates some non-interaction in the form of you have to deal with Lord of D first before you can deal with the literal actual threat on the field. This actually doesn't seem that bad. Like the line of text is extremely powerful. I will give Lord of D a C. I think I like it. I like it. The Flute of Summoning a Dragon. Special summon 2 dragon monsters from your hand. Lord of D must be on the field to activate and resolve this effect. Okay, so up to 2, so you don't need exactly 2. That's a good thing. You do need exactly Lord of D, though. This is weird. I mean, it cheats out some insane tributes. It's so high rolly. Is this the first Yu-Gi-Oh combo? I'm not talking like weird like pendulum freaking extra deck crap. I'm talking about like Lord of D into Flute of Summoning Dragon. Like that was it. That was the goal. That was the dream combo. I'm gonna say this was little Timmy's dream. He wanted to make this happen every game, but he was wondering, why do I keep drawing my flutes before my Lord of D? And you know, I found the Lord of D, but where's the flutes? I'm gonna tell little Timmy that Flute of Summoning Dragon was an F. I'm gonna tell him to make a better deck. Okay, here we have the Wicked Worm Beast. This face-up card on the field is returned to the owner's hand during the end phase? What is this for? I think the effect is cute. I just don't think it's good. You know, I hate to give an effect monster an F, but this effect is just weird. Yeah, I'll 1400 attack. But now that we know La Jin is coming, I don't know if 1400 is enough. Especially if it's just leaving the field for fun. Yeah, no, you're gonna get an F, bud. Battle Ox. Oh, he's chunky. 1700? Damn, I should just went straight to these starter decks. 1700, shit, I mean, that's just a C. I mean, you're 100 off from beating the best in the format. Unless there's a 1750, I think C's a really good spot for him. Kuromori Dragon. Wicked Flame, corrupts the souls of the victims. Sure. 1500. I might have given this a C last episode. I'll give it a D now. I'll give it a D. It's the Judge Man. Here he is. The club-wielding warrior battles to the end and will never surrender. He's judging me with his fist. 6-star tribute, 22. I mean, if Summon Skull is this competitive, I think I'm going to get a little harder with the grades, actually. Maybe I should give that last one an F. I'm going to give this one an F, too. I think it's time to start cracking down. I'm seeing some crazy stuff right now. I'm sorry, Judge Man. Okay, we got Rogue Doll. 1600? The 1500 gets an F. I'll give this one a D. Is that enough? Some of these, I think now we're gonna have to start like really retroactively updating some of them, because if there's enough 1700s, the 1600s move to an F, because the 1800s are like an A. They're meta defining. Should I try to pronounce this one? Kojaki? Powerful arm that can crush boulders. F for you, Kojaki. Beautiful. Stunning art. Holy shit. Look at that art. Oh my god. This is so good looking. Some of the other ones were like kind of goofy good looking, you know what I mean? Like the real gritty, nasty. This one just beautiful. The stats on it are just not beautiful though. Yeah, A for art. I love the way this looks, but F for actual playability. Okay, see, now we're back into the weird art. We have Mystic Horseman, half man, half horse. It's known for its extreme speed, sure. You're also known for not being good, so yeah, he's gonna get an F. Dark Titan of Terror. That's an F for you. Did I review this guy yet? He looks familiar, but he's gonna get an F real quick. I love the name to this card. Master and Expert. Does the art depict that at all? Not really. It looks like two random beasts. Oh, it's the Beastmaster and the Loyal Servant. Okay. I mean, the stats are an F, but just the card name being Master and Expert just sounds so cool. It sounds like it's supposed to be a spell. I feel like that's a Magic the Gathering spell, and they use it for just an unplayable vanilla in Yugioh. Unknown Warrior of Fiend. Wow, your stats got worse. Come on, Kaiba. What's this deck looking like, bro? I love it. I love it. I love it. Mystic Clown. Nothing can stop the mad attack of this. Wait, I remember this flavor text. I think I reviewed him. I might have given him a better grade back then, but he's gonna get an F. Ogre of the Black Shadow. No. Okay, interesting. They power crept the fire equip spell in the tournament pack, and then now ever so slightly bumped the power level of the earth one, but the trade-off is 100 extra attack, minus 200 defense. The defense is irrelevant. How much do you value an extra 100 attack on a card like this? No, the fire one just got 700 attack. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. This one gets an F. Ukazi. Did I review Ukazi already? All the burn spells kind of look the same, but I'm gonna give the burn spells the same grade overall. I'll give it a D. Ryu Kishin Powered. Just a 1600 guy. I'll give you a D then. I'll give you a D. I haven't seen too many other 1700s, so I'm gonna keep a D for these ones. Swordstalker, you're not Summon Skull. I mean, you're probably good in the context of both starter decks attacking each other, because I don't think I saw any 2000 defense yet. Any Aquamadors? I have not seen those yet, so you're just gonna get an F for me. There he is. There he is, Lajin. Oh my god, the title on this guy. Lajin, the mystical genie of the lamp. A genie of the lamp that is at the beck and call of its master. 4-star, 1800 attack. Okay, so the best vanilla in the game. The best 4-star, the best normal summon. I alluded to it earlier. It's just gotta be an A because the whole meta is gonna revolve around what can beat 1800 attack. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that you can wall up still with the 2000 defenses, but this thing just runs over any non-tribute in attack position. I mean, it even runs over some tributes in attack position. As a 4-star, so and like I said, I know I have a copy of 7-colored fish, right? So there's actually just redundancy in the 1800s. So if you're caught with a 1700 or a 1600, you're shit out of luck, So yeah, this gets an A. This gets a definite A from me. The very next card in the starter deck is exactly what I was talking about. Rude Kaiser. So this is a tribute for your 1800 attack. Oh, but you get 600 more defense. I like how it literally just instantly shows you how good Lajin is. Very next card, yeah, this is gonna get an F. Destroyer Golem. Oh, God. That looks like fleshy muscle on this, like, castle-looking thing. Massive right hand for crushing its victims. Yeah, F for you, but cool art. I've tried to avoid ones I've already reviewed, but I think we can talk about Skull Redbird again. Already power crept. Very, very hard. I mean, just this set alone has 1600s and 1700s as a normal summon. So going back to Skull Redbird, you get an F. That was very short-lived. Went from best normal summon in the game to unplayable with the release of one starter deck. Not bad. D human. That's not a human. They have fish ears and they're a unicorn. Oh, it's a human gifted with the power of dragons. I mean, you don't do anything. So yeah, you're an F. Okay, here we have Zach from League of Legends with the blue chroma, and you're going to get an F. Okay, I had to skip a couple there, and then we get to Dispel. Target one face-up spell or one set spell trap on the field. Destroy that target if it's a spell. Interesting. Does this hit quick play spells? Do those count as spells? Or is it just talking about what this is, like a normal spell? It's continuous, right? It's a sideboard card. Yeah, you never main deck this. Still very, very niche. Like, if it doesn't hit quick play spells, I kind of want to get it an F. But if it does, and it just kind of deals with any spell, it deals with bluffs, I'll give it a D. It's a sideboard D. It's a sideboard D. The inexperienced spy. Look at him, he's so cute. Select and see one card in your opponent's hand. Why? Why you take this? No, I mean, it's funny. I love the art. It's funny. It's gonna get enough though. Reinforcements. Target one that face a monster to the field. It gains 500. Oh, I think this is the first combat trick I've seen. So combat tricks tend to be fine, not really preferred in like a limited environment, but you kind of, if you're tight on removal, you play them because you need them to be pseudo removal. In constructed, probably better options out there, but 500 attack on a combat trick when so much is determined just through battle. I'm trying to think of situations where the 500 attack matter with the cards I've seen so far. So if you're ever in a Lajin war, this gets you over there. This does not deal with Summon Skull on any normal summon. So I feel like the amount of attack doesn't even matter. The only thing that matters is it's a trap card that gives attack. So with that in mind, give it a C. I kind of want to, it's like a C minus. I want to say the 500 attack, like if this was enough to trade with Summon Skull, I'd give it like a C plus, but it being 500, it gets a C minus for me. C minus. Ancient Telescope. Oh, I thought it was a Fate Seal 5. No, you just get to look at their next 5 tries. I love the power disparity in the spells. It's Raigeki, Dark Hole, Ancient Telescope, Unexperienced Spy. So interesting that the Kaiba deck is trying to gain information about your opponent. They're trying to look into their hand, look at their deck, and plan around the next couple turns. Cool in concept, cool in concept. Obviously, the execution, not the best. Not the best. F for this one. Just desserts. 500 for each monster they control. Does that include sets? Okay, so I was kind of copping out and giving the burn deck cards like a D. This looks like a good burn spell. You just need them to have 2 monsters, and this is the best burn spell in the game. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And if Yugioh is really just gumming up the board and stuff like that, you know, I could see early days of Yu-Gi-Oh having, you know, 3 to 4 even, not being too far out of the reach of possibility. This thing's smacking for 2K? I'll give Just Desserts a C. It's a nice little piece of extension. It'll get you across the finish line for sure. We got Mysterious Puppeteer. Each time your opponent normal or flip summons a monster, increase your life points by 500. It's a 1K 15? Nah, that's just not enough. You know, something like this line of text would be good on a 1700, where you're not in the running for the best offensive stats in the game, but you make up for it with a little, you know, a nice little bonus line of text. But this bonus line of text is not good enough to justify these bad of a stats. So, yeah, you're gonna get an F. It's the Trap Master. Blip, select a 1 trap card on the field, destroy it. If it's set, pick it up and see it. If it's a spell, return it. So I think the spell one was the one I reviewed in the first episode. This hitting trap cards is a lot better. Gives it way more longevity in the fact that, I mean, trap cards are the ones you want to be setting and playing on your opponent's turn. Supposed to, the other one kind of just hitting bluffs, really. I guess one downside is it is slow, it being a flip monster. It gets run over by anything. And let's say your opponent is not setting their cards before they run over this in combat. You might be missing out on the trap card that you actually wanted to remove, or missing out on just a possible target at all. Trap Master, I'm going to say it's a C. I want to say it was fine. You could play it. And maybe in a limited environment, it was a little bit better. I'm kind of leaning towards like C-. I don't think it was like that good. Yeah, I'll give it an official C-. Now we have Reverse Trap. So the end phase, all effects that add or subtract, attack or defense are reversed. Additions now subtract, and subtractions now add. Multiplications and divisions are not affected. I didn't see anything that multiplied, but okay. So this is kind of funny with that 500 attack trap that I just reviewed. Does this affect the equipment? I would assume it does. I mean, you're just adding 300 attack to it. It's not like the card is gaining that attack somehow, right? It's not changing the base of it. It's cute. It's not cute enough though. I'm gonna give it an F. It's the ultimate offering. Oh my god. Crazy art on this one. I felt like the goblin would be like in pain with this guy coming out of him, but nah, he's evil, he's angry. During your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you may pay 500 and normal set 1. Oh wow, it's continuous. You just keep doing this. And you can put it in during the battle phase? You get an extra normal during your main phase and an extra normal during your opponent's battle phase? Oh my god. Who cares about the 500 life? You spend 1,000 life and suddenly the board's unbreakable? You know, I can see worlds where you overextend with something like this though, right? Though now, again, if you're talking about a format with a lot of the massive board wipes limited, you know, you can definitely probably get away with overextending a little bit more. It's such a powerful line of text. It's just like, what is there to abuse with it? Are you just cheating out your blue eyes faster? Cheating out your summon skull, or you know, tribute summoning during battle phase over something, you know, and suddenly they have no good attacks. Their turn kind of gets skipped, and now you have the advantage. Could even set too, which is crazy. You can slap down a Manator bug right as they enter battle phase. Okay, so if you enter battle phase and you see something get set by your opponent on your turn, first thing that would come to my mind is they just set a Manator bug and I'm gonna get blown out. Because apparently, you know, you'd assume that they set up their board perfectly to get the max amount of damage in. You could just flip this too, so they don't even see the ultimate offering coming. Yeah, it looks really strong. Looks strong, but there's also, you know, that chance of overextending too. So I'll give this a B, leaning a little bit more to like B+. I don't know if this was meta defining. I think I'll stick with B+. This thing seems insane though. All right, that was it for Kaibas, and Quick wrap up on Kaiba's. I don't know what his theme was, besides look at your opponent's cards, but I can see just within that starter deck how things progressed very quickly past like the initial Blue Eyes set. Very interesting. So let's get into Yugi's. First up, we have Soul Exchange. Target one monster your opponent controls this turn. If you tribute a monster, you must tribute that target as if you controlled it. Cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. Oh, that's pretty cool. You just get to use their dude as material. That's pretty good. That's really, really good. What's cool is the lack of battle phase is buffered by the fact that you would probably have to run over whatever monster was on their field anyway, right? So did you really lose a battle phase? Not really, unless you had, you know, more things to get in. Yeah, I actually really like this, especially if you can hit one of their tributes that they, you know, worked hard to get out, and then you just Soul Exchange, put yours down. Like, what a blowout, right? Yeah, Soul Exchange, I think it's a B. I think this card has a lot of power to it. Oh, what the hell. Both players discard as many cards as possible from their hands, then each player draws the same number. I feel like this is one that's better in modern Yu-Gi-Oh than it was back then. I don't think there was too many discard effects or things to really abuse the graveyard. So like modern day, I'd give it like a B, but I think back then it's probably just a D. Okay, I don't think I reviewed this one. I'm seeing a lot of Blue Eyes cards in here, but this is Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, #1. Question: they shortened the word dragon human by putting D-human, and then they gave this, I mean, it's like a sentence in the name. But now this one gets a quick and easy F though. It's the Great White. Where's MBT when you need him? 1600, give you a D. Still have not seen another, I still haven't seen Yugi 1700. I would assume they put a 1700 for the Yugi and for the Kaiba. Gotta try to even them out, so. Yeah, I'll give Great White a D. Don't think I reviewed this one. I mean, the defense is pretty irrelevant. It's 1600 attack. It gets a nice simple D. This fairy rules over the end of existence. Doma, the Angel of Silence. I hope there is like a modern version of Doma. If there is, please let me know, because this thing is so sick. This thing is so sick. You get a D, but like A for art again. Ansatsu, a silent and deadly warrior specializing in assassinations. Tribute, 17 for this tribute? Wasn't Kaiba's 18? That's not fair. Yugi's supposed to be more powerful. You get an F. It's the Claw Reacher. No. Here's the dark one. Yeah, I still don't think these are worth it, so this one's going to get an F from me. Okay, interesting. When I look at the preview, like the thumbnail of the card, it has a different art than this, and I think I know why. I think it's probably the OCG art on this card. So this one looks a little more family friendly. There's no granny boobies on my screen, so which if you're into it, you're into it. Dan Kaito, the Cure Master, life points gain. No, it's just an F. Ancient Elf, 1450. Weird. You're weird. This elf is rumored to have lived for 1,000 years. He leads an army of spirits against his enemies. Cool lore, cool armor. I like it. The backgrounds, so there's something about these old backgrounds too. I just don't know what's going on sometimes. I feel like I'm not supposed to think about it too much, but who's the graphic designer for this one? I kind of wish they had the artists somewhere in the frame or on the bottom of the card. Yeah, I'm gonna give this an F. Okay, so the ghost can have titties hanging out, but the granny can't? That's just not fair. Screecher, yeah, no, I'm not gonna read, just get an F. Target a monster your opponent controls, take control of it to end phase. I mean, it's better Soul Crossing. Does not skip your battle phase. You can still tribute, and also it can just end the game, right? You just get rid of their big guy, take it for yourself, and push over. And I'm sitting here debating whether or not this gets a B or an A. Because for one, man, you really cannot play around this at all. You can play around removal, you can play around board wipes. You can't play around them just taking your guy. You have to play cards to win the game and to not die. And Change of Heart says, has your opponent played a monster? Well, this card's online. Yeah, for that reason, this gets an A. I gave Soul Crossing a B because I thought that effect was powerful, but I mean, this is just so much better. This is just so much better. Yeah, A for change of heart. The Stern Mystic. Ooh, he's stern. Flip, reveal all face down cards on the field. Flip effects are not activated, then return them to the original positions. So that parentheses tells me that other card that I was confused about the ruling on, it will proc Man-Eater Bug because it doesn't have that parentheses on there. Okay, we figured it out. I'm sure I'm still wrong somehow, but I'm making my own headcanon here. How good is the Stern Mystic, though? Not good enough. I mean, the information's neat. I would have thought this would be in the Kaiba deck, because if Kaiba wanted to know what your opponent's playing, this would probably be a better fit for that. But even still, the stats are really just not worth it. That's why it is going to be an F. Wall of Illusion. They really liked defensive tools. 1850. Really? This card is attacked by the monster after damage calculation. Return it to the hand? Oh my god. It's a Hain. It's a Hain with stats. Make it 1750. Let the Lajins get in there, bro. Good stats, good effect, 4-star monster. So I mean, it's not as good as a 2K defense, but now with the context of, hey, play normal summons with 1800 attack. Plus, if this bounces a freaking tribute, I don't want to give it like a full-blown B. I'm gonna give this a B minus. I mean, it's unsummoned on a stick, you know? This bad boy's set. Nothing's getting over it unless they tribute for it. And if they tribute for it, well, then you send that back to the hand and they're put behind anyway, right? So it kind of feels like a win-win no matter what happens with this. So yeah, it's gonna be maybe not even B minus, maybe it's just straight up a B for Wall of Illusion. Neo, the Magical Swordsman. Okay, we already getting a little anime here. Not liking where this is going. Dimensional drifter who not only practices sorcery, but also is a sword and martial arts master. 1700? Okay, so here's the 1700 for the Yugi deck. Sure, I mean, I'll give that a C then. I think that's fair. Baron of the Fiend Sword. This dude looks like he's straight out of Toontown. This is too funny. An aristocrat who wields a sword possessed by a malicious spirit that preys on the weak. The stats are bad though, so you're gonna get an F. We got a Mimic. Really on the nose with the name. The 1600s, I will give a D. Don't be caught with them on the field while there's a Lodgin out. Maybe these do deserve an F. The 1700s now. If there's two sets of 1700s, do these get an F? Probably. Let's do F for them. Let's do F. Sorcerer of the Doomed? Nah, I'm sorry. Oh my god, that art though. Like, it's just a 70s metal album cover, just on the most unplayable thing that, like, everyone's gonna forget about. Last Will. If a monster on your side of the field was sent to the graveyard this turn, you can special summon one monster with an attack of 1500 points or less from your deck once during this turn, then shuffle your deck. Okay, so you can trigger this with a tribute summon and then get a 1500 attack point monster. I mean, it looks like it's broken with combos, right? But so far, the only combo I've seen is Lord of D into Flute a Summoning Dragon. This would summon Lord of D. That's all I'm saying. This has to be one that is stone unplayable. Maybe not stone unplayable, but like not that good, like right now, and then becomes a problem when any effect monsters worth playing comes out. You know, I think it's better I review this card in the context of where it's currently at. What if you use a Dark Hole, one of your guys gets cleaned up, can last Will, and then get a big tribute out because you special summoned, right? What would you even summon off of this thing? Can't do any of the flip monsters. Yeah, I mean, if I just grade this in context of the starter deck's going 1v1, it's just not that good. Last Will get an F. Till I see something that can break it, it looks unplayable. Okay, I think there's just two more. This one and one more. Here we have Wabaku. You take no battle damage from your opponent's monsters this turn, and your monsters can't be destroyed by battle this turn. So it's Fog effect. How good is Fog? Not good. Sometimes there are decks that can be built around, you know, negating damage for the turn. Usually in some sort of like stall strategy, at least in Magic. Here, when it's just kind of big dude beat down and removal, this buying you some extra turns, just play the... Isn't Swords of Revealing Light just better at that point, right? They don't get a combat phase with swords up, and this only protects from battle. Yeah, I think Wabaku is just an F. Okay, we got Castle Walls. Increase the defense of a face-up monster by 500. This is stone useless, I think. Yeah, defense. Yeah, you let one monster survive for one more turn. That's just not worth it. That's just an easy F. Okay, so that was both starter decks. And I think next after that is Metal Raiders. So I think that's like the official next set after Legend of Blue Eyes. What can I take away from this set, from both starter decks? One, the power level shot up. I feel like if back in the day, if you didn't pick up one of these two starter decks, you were just going to lose straight up. I mean, just the normal summons alone, you know, they're massive. Kaiba's, in that respect, is slightly more unfair. I think he's the only one with an 1800. But then on the flip side, right, you know, Yugi was given Change of Heart, the Wall of Illusion, really, really good like interactive tools to try to get around that. Also, funnily enough, has Dragon Capture Jar, get fucked Kaiba. Yeah, it's funny. I looking through both decks, I want to say Yugi's is a little better. Kaiba having the better normal summon, like let's just say both decks just raw against each other. I mean, Yugi's has Summon Skull in it too. Yeah, Yugi's looks like better by far, actually. Kind of looks like Kaiba's gonna get rolled. Card quality just does not seem the same. I'm glad though I've seen more cards like Soul Exchange and Change of Heart. I'm starting to see now more clear ways of interaction instead of just more ways to deal with the wall up. You know, more ways to punch over the finish line, more interaction. Because in the first set, I mean, it just looked like there was just nothing to do. I mean, even the comments said, you know, you just played Exodia and you sat there and you drew cards, right? Really excited to see what Metal Raiders is going to bring next time. So that'll be it for this one. I have some Modern Warfare 2 to play. And by play, I mean it's going to keep crashing. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.